We've all seen those sci-fi movies where someone vanishes for decades only to return as if no time had passed. But what if I told you this isn't fiction? The story you're about to hear is where reality collides with science fiction. It's about an old man who became living proof that the impossible can happen. He disappeared without a trace, and 30 years later, he reappeared, wearing the same clothes, holding the same ticket, as if he had stepped out of time itself. But the most mysterious part is what happened next. The year was 1991 in rural Romania. A 63-year-old livestock farmer named Vasile Gorgos left his home in Bacău for what should have been an ordinary business trip. He carried his ID card. He wore his everyday clothes. He even bought a return train ticket for later that same day. But something very unusual happened. The 63-year-old man never came back. His family searched and reported it to the police. The police searched, but no trace of the old man was found. Days turned into months, months into years, and eventually decades. The family, heartbroken, held memorial services and assumed he was gone forever. But on August 29, 2021, something no one could explain happened. A car pulled up outside the same family farm. An old man stepped out. He was the same 63-year-old man from 30 years ago, but this time he was now 93 years old, frail but walking. It was Vasile Gorgos. It was like he had walked out of a science fiction movie. He wore the same clothes he had left home in 3 decades earlier. The weird part? The drop-off was so quick that by the time people noticed it was him, the car that dropped him had already sped off. Nobody saw the person behind the wheel or got the car's registration number. And just like that, Vasile was home again. His family was in great shock. How could this be real? They rushed to him, asking where he had been. But Vasile's answers only deepened the mystery further. He recognized his family as well, except his daughter-in-law, who had grown older. He remembered his life before he vanished. He remembered his childhood and that his wife had died years before he vanished. Yet when asked about the missing 30 years, he said something strange. He had been home the whole time. But in Vasile's pocket was that same train ticket from 1991. He was quickly taken to the hospital and doctors examined him. For a man in his 90s, his health was surprisingly stable. His mind was clear when it came to the past. But those 3 decades were gone, erased like pages torn from a book. No record showed where he had lived in the years he was missing. No neighbors claimed to have seen him. No one knew who dropped him off in that car. It was as if he had stepped out of time itself. The case spread quickly through Romanian media and then across the world. Everyone wanted to explain what happened to Vasile Gorgos, but the theories only raised more questions. Some believed he had been kidnapped and kept somewhere in secret, then released in old age. Others suggested dissociative amnesia, where trauma erases memory, or perhaps another mental disorder that kept him away from home. Some thought he had chosen to disappear and live a different life, returning only when age caught up with him. But his family said he had no reason to run. And then there were those who leaned into stranger explanations, speaking of time slips, experiments, or abductions. None of it could be proven. But what happened next made the story mysterious and unforgettable. Remember, he was first rushed to the hospital for checkup when he came back, and the doctor said his health was surprisingly stable for someone in his 90s. Well, within months, that changed drastically, like his age was finally catching up to his body. His health started to deteriorate, and in 2022, he died peacefully, leaving behind no answers. His family buried him again, still wondering where he had been all those years. No police report, no investigation, no witness has ever explained his absence. The car that dropped him off was never identified. The 30 years he lost remain a blank space. The question remains, what happened to Vasile Gorgos? The rational explanations such as memory loss, a hidden life, or long captivity never fit cleanly with the facts. The stranger theories of time, slips, or paranormal events sound impossible, yet they match the impossible details. What is left is silence. All the world and his family knows is this: Vasile left home for a routine business trip, vanished for 30 years, and then returned wearing the same clothes, carrying the same ticket, and speaking as if nothing had happened. Then, just as suddenly, he was gone again, but this time forever. For his family, the story is deeply personal. For the rest of us, it is a riddle, one that will require spiritual intervention to solve.